talking to about Click, the movie?
Was it Click? We were talking about a movie the other day.
No. This is pre that. I think it was like the last time we were talking at the bar.
Maybe? Because I do feel like...
It's like ringing bells? I don't know. Okay, so every once in a while I'm funny. Just every once in a while.
Only sometimes.
And I like to think like in a different life I could be a stand-up comedian. I was talking about a comedian one time told me that I could be a stand-up comedian, and that just messed with my brain a lot. But anyways,
could have also been trying to get laid.
No, he wasn't. We're best friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, anyways, so I like to think I'm funny sometimes, and I made a note in my phone and it's labeled stand up, and it was because I made a really funny joke and I thought it was so funny. I was like, this could be like a stand up bit.
Yeah.
And so I wrote it down, and then I haven't looked at it again since. This was like months ago. And last night I was talking to my friend about the movie Click, and I was like, oh, I had a really good bit about this. And I went to go look in my notes app to go see what it was.
Yeah.
And all it said was Click equals historical fiction.
Historical fiction.
And that's all it says. And
Were you like drunk or high?
Probably. But like,
I mean it's I like the stupidity of it, where it's like it kind of doesn't make sense completely, because it's like it's a fictional movie.
I think I was saying because it's so old at this point that like some people haven't even watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
That's funny, right?
Well, yeah, if you preface it like that.
Yeah, I think that's where I was going.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't be certain.
Yeah,
but
like
that's what makes most sense to Savannah's brain.
It's like like a historical movie that is fiction.
Yeah.
Which I think...
No, not historical. Like, at this point, the movie is so old that it's a historic fiction.
Right. Like
it's just old.
Like a science fiction.
It's like what, like... No.
No, like, not like...
I'm just saying it's like an old movie now, because it's not actually that old. Like...
Yeah, it was it's still in the 2000s.
But there's kids who haven't seen it or know what it is, and it's like within our generation, I don't think there's like any kid that didn't watch that movie.
True.
Not that it was really child appropriate, but like we watched it because that's what millennials did.
Well, I mean, that was around Sandler's prime. He already had his grades that he already made, so of course we were gonna watch it.
Right. I watched like all of the Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah, I feel like most or all of them. Yeah, Click, man, it's crazy how it was a big thing, but now you don't really hear about it.
No.
I'm still thinking about historical fiction. I'm just distracted by that. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Oh no, it's not funny. Okay.
No, I think there's some there.
There's something there.
Yeah.
One day I'll get to the level.
Yeah.
Of you. One thing to talk about. Did you come up with a podcast name?
No. Did you write something down?
I haven't added anything new to our list, but I ran our list through some pals of mine, and they have suggestions.
Okay.
My friend Meg said she likes Make It Make Sense.
Make It Make Sense.
And then she also likes Why Are You Here?
Oh, I like both of those.
I know. And then my other friend said he liked Make It Make Sense as well.
Shit. Make It Make Sense, like, kind of sounds like a game show in a way.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
Welcome to Make It Make Sense. I'm your host. Which I think, as a podcast name, I think it works too.
I think it's cool, yeah. I think Why Are You Here sounds more philosophical.
It does. And so that's what Make It Make Sense. There is no... I feel like your mind doesn't go to that right away, which I like. And I like the idea of not having a philosophical title.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
And like Make It Make Sense can be ironic because it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Because, like, I don't think
Right.
we're not trying to make sense of anything. Really.
Right.
We're just.
We don't have a point.
No, there's no point here, guys.
I mean,
there's no point.
we have like little points throughout it, but like no like main point we're trying to drive through.
Right.
So it's like we're just trying to make sense of our conversations about Click
Exactly.
and historical fiction.
It is.
Okay, I mean, if you like it, I agree. Make it make sense.
Yay.
I'm seeing the color pink for some reason. I don't know why.
I like pink. I'm a girl.
I'm a little gay.
I would. Tell me about yourself, Colin.
I every time someone asks me that, I go blank.
How about we like bring in the other possible podcast title and say, why are you here?
Okay, I mean, I feel like there are a lot of ways to look at that sentence, and it could be like, why am I here? Like in this moment, and I think there are a lot of factors why we both are here. But like me and you work together for a comedy festival, which was so much fun. Oh, everyone was so great. But like I feel like we hit it off pretty quick. Like we were just I just felt like it was instantly easy to talk to you, like, and we were just in that type of setting too, where like we're gonna be working closely together, and I think we we immediately like just got along, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the start of it, and then the second festival I think solidified it.
Yeah.
But
I was sad that we didn't work as like closely together the second time.
yeah,
I was like kind of depressed.
They
were like,
a little
"Oh,
bummed.
Savannah, you got to do the content," and I'm like, "No, I just want to hang out with Colin."
Right, yeah, because I was running around everywhere.
I know.
It would have been nice, like, because we were kind of doing that in Miami.
Yeah.
And which was a lot of fun, but yeah, they took you somewhere else. I think because
that wasn't actually supposed to be my job the first time.
Right, it was because the other someone else
Yeah.
dropped. Yeah, and so I think a friendship bloomed. But you know, why am I here in general? I have no fucking clue. I think about that all the time. You know,
Yeah.
it's like why like. Like a lot of people say life is a gift, and I'm not denying that. I'm just saying it's also not a dream. Like it also, there's a lot of fucking shit you have to comprehend or try to wrap your head around, and it just makes me question. It's like, why?
Right.
And I ask myself why I'm in New York. Sometimes I ask myself that. I'm like, why am I here? But it stresses me the fuck out. I'll be honest about that, but I don't know. I think the pandemic really made me feel more at home here because I was really hunkering down.
Right.
And I was still working at a coffee shop because we were still technically like essential.
Right.
And so we stayed open, and I was like, and so I just felt more close to this city and just this area. And every time I leave, I just find myself just wanting to go back. It's really like as stressed out as I can be here, I still, when I go home, like, to visit or to go even to like in LA, I'll go there sometimes. I'm just thinking about the next time I can go home.
Right.
Because I guess I've been able to feel comfortable here, and I can honestly say it is home. It is just sad, just with all the prices and everything going up, that if my income doesn't increase, there's a chance I won't be able to afford this,
right. Yeah.
And that's a sad thought.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, I feel that.
I don't know. I'm trying. I've been telling you about the 5-minute journal, and it tells me to say 3 things I'm grateful for every day, and that's been just forcing me to think about the good things, even when I don't want to. It's even just doing that can really turn your day around.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just taking steps.
Yeah, I feel like that's always good. I don't do the 5-minute journal anymore, but the one line a day even I feel like can almost have like the same effect of like if you're writing down I sat on the couch all day.
Right.
And that's what I did today. Like I feel like really lame doing that. So I feel like it like gives you like a little bit of a boost of being like, all right, well, what am I actually going to make today count for? Kind
Punch
of
it up.
So yeah, I like feel like it is helpful in that way. Although I
Yeah.
haven't been doing it as much lately.
That's okay. Nobody's checking.
Nobody's perfect.
Well,
I like quote that every single time I say that, and then a lot of people don't get it, and I'm like,
oh, that's a bummer.
I know. I don't like sing it, but I like say like nobody's perfect. You live and you learn it, and then like no one catches on.
I mean,
I'm
that's
like,
a fucking banger, man.
I know.
I feel like I would listen to that in high school sometimes.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you the same question. Why are you here?
That's a great question. I feel like I'm in the same wheelhouse as you a little bit. Well, I came to New York for an ex-boyfriend, and now I'm just still here. But my lease is almost up, so who knows? Maybe I'll have to go, cause
Get the boot.
Because, like, I can afford to live here. It's just, like, the whole, like, all the hoops they make you jump through to find a fucking apartment is ridiculous. And, like, all the proof of income and everything.
Really frustrating.
Like, I can't afford my rent, but I can't afford 4 times my rent. And that's an issue here in New York City.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Hopefully, it all works out and I stay here. And then, like, a deeper, like, why am I here? Well, like, to get deep as shit with you.
Deep.
Yeah. I do fully believe that like you're reincarnated until you're the best possible version of yourself. So I feel like right now I am here to continue on that lesson. I don't think I'm going to get there in this lifetime, but I think I'm way, way, way fucking closer, at least so far. And I still, hopefully, in theory, have a lot of life to live. So
Yeah. No, I think, like, not everybody's going to be like a yogi or a guru, but it's still important to like have those principles and just try to be better honestly, I try to be better every day.
Yeah.
Some days are harder than others.
yeah, they are.
But just having that thought process, I think it is important
Yeah.
because you just need to keep reminding yourself.
Right. Maybe just like the last thing is like, maybe like, why are we here recording this?
Oh, yeah.
That might be. Not that we even know, but even I think like explaining.
Right. And this could evolve over time.
Right,
too,
right.
You know, I think I'm here because it just helps me just talking it out with somebody where we feel like we're on the same wavelength, you know?
We really are on the same wavelength,
It does,
though. I
yeah.
feel like it's kind of wild because like you talked about like how we met and everything, and I feel like
Yeah.
that was like just like a weird thing. Like we weren't supposed to get as close as we did,
Right.
in theory, but like
Right.
we did, and then now we both quit that job.
Yeah.
And I'm only friends with you from there.
I mean, I might know some people, but I think you're
Yeah.
the only person I constantly
Like
talk to.
constantly talk.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. Sorry to anyone I just offended. Honestly, I'm not that sorry, but
But we don't need to name names.
we don't need to do that.
No,
But so I feel like, because the first time that you and I ever hung out is our walk through Washington Square Park. No, like we got
Right.
drinks and then we did our long walk.
right.
And we did the longest walk.
Right,
We
yeah.
made so many laps around that park
We
that
did,
night.
and then we ended up walking to my apartment
Yeah.
to get weed, and that was
was a
like
trek.
That was like a half-hour walk.
Yeah.
maybe more.
Yeah. But like that entire night, like we were just like everything we were saying like made sense to each other. And I feel
Right.
like that's kind of rare.
Right, you know, and I don't want to say that I'm any like I know anything spiritually or psychologically, but it's just something I'm interested in. I like talking about.
Yeah, me too.
And I think as a human being, it's important to really think about that and talk about it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think just recording this and maybe listening back to it just helps just understand myself and
Right.
and see myself in a different perspective.
Yeah. And I feel like we do a really good job of like questioning each other in the best possible ways,
Right.
of like really making each other we never like offend each other, which I feel like a lot of
Right.
people get easily offended if you like question like their thought process.
And I will hold myself from doing that because I'm
Yeah.
afraid that's going to happen.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't question, like, I feel like I've gotten more to the level where I'm just an open and honest person in general. And so I just like truly could give less of a fuck how someone else reacts about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like with you've always had like the best reactions of like really like thinking about what my questions are. And then
Right.
your answers help me question myself. Cause like I feel like in any of our talks, like I feel like a better human after them because I'm like
Yeah.
coming to more terms that I wouldn't have came to by myself.
Right. Yeah. It helps me shake off all of the neuroses, I guess, of just all these irrational thoughts and then getting down to like the nitty gritty of like, all right, what is actually happening? What is actually going on?
Right.
And not holding any of that back. I think that really for sure helps. And a lot of my favorite comedians are like that, where they can't hold things in. They need to tell people
Yeah.
about that because they don't want to lie. They don't want to come off as like sleazy or whatever. And they just want to be as honest as possible.
Right.
And as much sometimes as ugly as truth is,
Yeah.
it's still the truth.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I was talking to my friend last night and I was like, what's your deepest, darkest secret? Because I just like asking people that question. I get really into it. And then I don't think I got a real answer out of him. But then he was like, what about you? And I was like, honestly, I don't have any secrets. Like, ask me a question, I'll answer it.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I've made so many great new relationships with human beings as of recently, just because like anything people ask, I just openly like tell them. And it's like, when you really, really think about it, what do you have to hide?
Right.
Like, I mean, like, you could feel like embarrassed by like saying certain things, and like I feel like that's why things get hidden, or like you're worried what other people are gonna think. But like I really have, I still care what people think, but like I've really gotten to the point where like if it's really about me, myself, and like how I'm feeling about things, I could care less if I like say it out loud.
Right. Yeah, if it's your truth, I think that's super important, and it's not always easy. But I think just for me, I suppress a lot of emotions, and that's just not good,
But I think by like talking about it is when you really like let it, like they say it and it sounds dumb when you hear it. You're like, oh, if you just talk about it or like write it out or like say it out loud, like then it makes things better. But like honestly, I feel like it does. Like
it does.
There's been so many things that I've been like more open and honest with other people, and it's allowed me to come to my own personal truths of like, yeah, this actually happened to me, and like I just have to come to terms with it. Because if I don't, I'm just like holding on to something and it's making me into a more negative person, and I don't like it.
Right. That also. And do you know Maria Bamford?
No.
I'm re-listening to her audiobook, and she mentioned that. She's like, if I hold things in, it makes me more separated from others.
Right.
And I do the same stuff.
Yeah.
Then I just feel guilty, and then you feel worse and worse and worse.
Right. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I've been feeling so like lighter and more confident as of recently, is just because I've been telling everyone anything. And like it truly is like, it's not only very freeing, but it's also just like letting me be more okay with who I am. And that was really, really hard for me for a long time.
Right. No, exactly. And I feel like it kind of like living here, it feels like it speeds it up a bit.
I think so.
If you really tune into that part and you really allow those things to come out, then you will understand yourself more.
Right.
And in my case, hate myself less, Like,
same. But you also have to like make sure that you like let go and actually do that. Cause like, I feel like in at least like the last like 2 years that I've lived in New York, I was with someone. So like, I feel like I was so busy living my life with that person that I didn't really like give myself to New York City.
For sure.
And I feel like now I finally like come to that point.
I feel like that is a thing a lot of people do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like now I'm coming to it, and like I've never felt happier, honestly. Like I'm still fucking depressed as shit, but like I'm more happier now because I have more self-confidence and I like feel way better about my self-esteem than I ever have, and that's just by like letting it go and like just giving myself over to the city.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. It's our savior.
Thank you, New York City. To my Lord and Savior.
Yeah. I feel like relationships can do that. It can really, you are kind of put in this bubble in a way, and you're not really seeking out exploration.
Right. Yeah. And I've had to like explain that to a lot of people recently, because like I was talking to someone yesterday and they were like, oh, what's your New Year's goals? And I told you about this the other day, but like my goal this year is to not have any goals. Like I just want to be very free. I want to be open and like let loose and like do whatever the fuck I want. And a lot of people aren't understanding that. But like also like I was in a relationship for 6 fucking years. Like I was practically married. And that's how it was from the very beginning of my relationship. Like I met him, I had a date with him, and I stayed the night at his house every single night after that for 6 full years.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was fully in that relationship, in that bubble.
Yeah.
And that was when I was 20 years old. So like I like lived when I was with him for sure. Like grateful for all the experiences and everything that we had together. But like I didn't like live the life that I wanted to live. I was holding myself back from like really being myself, I think. And so like now this year I feel like that's my goal, is to just like not hold back, to not stop myself from doing anything that I would want to do just because, or like anything that I think would like make me happier. Cause like even when you're in a relationship, I would like, at least for me, I was like, oh, I really want to go like hiking. And then they would be like, yeah, let's go hiking. And then we never did it. And it's like, I always felt like I couldn't do certain things unless I was with him. Or like if there was like a new restaurant I wanted to try and he was out of town that weekend, like I wouldn't go because it was something that we would do together. Right. So like now I'm just doing whatever I want to do. Right. And it's been so nice.
I feel like there were a lot of people who had like 2023 was like a good year for them.
It was a wild year.
It was a wild year. And it wasn't my year.
It was not my year.
Yeah, I fucking hated it. And so I'm kind of in that mindset of just like, yeah, I have these bullet points of like what I want to focus on, but I'm really just trying to figure my shit out. Yeah. I mean, yes, New Year's resolutions are good, but I feel like it's for a certain type of person too.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
I don't think it works for everybody.
No.
But growing up in my house, they were a huge thing. Like my parents would sit me down and be like, "Let's write out our New Year's resolutions."
Whoa, yeah, and that's wild.
Yeah, and it's funny that I still do it.
Is that normal?
I don't know.
Okay. I like wonder. I know I didn't have a normal childhood at all, so like I'm like curious. Like,
I mean, maybe households had a more religious version of that or something. You know, ours was just like our goals. Like, what do you want to do? Like, we would read our last year's goals and then see what we accomplished, and then write our new ones. Yeah. And I guess that just developed a habit in me. You know, there are so many goals I never accomplished. Yeah. You know, I write down so many things that never got done. And so I don't know if it helps or not, but it's just this habit I guess, been doing, you know, since I was young. So
yeah. No, that's really cool. I feel like as a child, there are so many things that seem like they're going to be huge dangers in our lives. And they're not. Yeah. One of those is Black Widows.
Black Widows.
Sinking sand.
John Mulaney has a really good bit about that, where he's like,
I'm on the same level.
I know, right? No, I've also thought of jokes that John Mulaney does before he said it.
Yeah.
I can't take credit because he's been fucking doing comedy forever. Yeah, I thought Quicksand was going to be...
That's what sinking sand.
Yes, you call it. I was going to correct you, but then I was so excited that John Mulaney had the same joke, so I let it go. Yeah, I think cartoons do that, and like Indiana Jones and...
I never watched those.
Why did you...
No, I watched cartoons. I didn't watch Indiana Jones.
I've seen like the first one, but I guess it just looks like a movie that would have it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, it could not. I could be wrong, but
Definitely the cartoons.
cartoons for sure.
Yeah.
And you learn what to do. Like you don't panic. You just sit still, and the more you like fight it, the more you're gonna sink.
Sinkier you get.
Sinkier you get.
Sure. I hate when that happens. Feeling sinkier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was feeling sinkier earlier today. No, I was fine. I was good.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Earlier this week for sure.
Okay.
But today's I've been all right.
Nice. I feel like I haven't felt sinkier today. But again, yeah, earlier this week, for sure.
That's good.
Yeah, I think we were both at that level.
Right. I will have to tell you, our talk on Sunday fucking helped.
I
like
think
a
so
ton.
too. I think, yeah, for
I
me
felt
as well.
I felt just a lot better. And I felt more productive too. I was just like able to do shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, it definitely like helped me feel a little bit more motivated, I think. I haven't been like super like emo about anything since then.
Yes.
I haven't had
Emo
to
is a
like
perfect
journal, like
Yeah.
get my tears out,
Right.
like since then. So I think that's a good step.
No, I think it's great. I think it's nice to have have those throw up like where we're just throwing everything up. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like at least for me in my life, I haven't had a ton of people that I can do that with.
I can say the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a therapist, but it's not the same though.
Go
You're
off. Go off. Wow.
She's not my friend though. I mean, I think that would be weird to call her my friend, at least at this stage. So I feel like some people do call their therapists friends, but I don't think I'm at that level.
Yeah, I think with my therapist, shout out Sherry, she was like my aunt to me. She reminded me a lot of my aunt, which I think like helps, but she also just like had ADHD, and we had ADHD together, and then we would just like be shooting the shit all the time, like not actually talking about my issues. We talked about horses every single session.
Really?
She had a thing for horses. She like did like the competitive shit.
No way. Mm-hmm. Were you like a horse? Aren't they called?
I'm not a horse girl.
Well, I mean, clearly your therapist is a horse girl.
Yeah, she is the definition of a horse girl.
And then nothing. That's okay.
That's okay for her. That's part
For
of her
her
journey.
Yeah.
That's a part of her journey, her
Yeah.
path. That's not a part of my journey.
No, I feel like it's a very niche.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Is it? I don't know.
Well, I think it always has been. Like
I like horseback riding. You know, it was.
I've never done it.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a horse. I mean, there's horses here.
I would have hoped you'd seen a horse by now in your lifetime.
Yeah. It's just
You grew up in Michigan.
True. Yeah. No, for sure. We've seen, but like there's been rare times where I've been up and close and personal with a horse.
You've never had like the opportunity to go horseback riding?
I had, but it was expensive.
That's true. That's true. My mom dated a lot of guys, and they would always like take us on like fun little things to like impress her.
Right.
And I think the first time I went was maybe with one of them, but then I did it again in like 5th grade camp.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a big thing. I remember my sister went horseback riding camp.
Yeah.
So it is a big thing at camp. I went to camp, but it wasn't a thing. We were a fine arts camp. We were all depressed emo high school kids.
Okay. Mine was a normal kid camp. We did like rock climbing and campfire songs and horseback riding.
You know, yeah. I wish we had rock climbing. I don't think we had rock climbing.
We did. I went 50 feet, baby.
Yo,
I was in 5th grade.
That's high.
Thank you.
At that age, I was so scared to do that stuff.
I know, most kids were. That's why I said, like, I'm impressive because I did that.
Were you like the shit after?
I like to think so.
You just kept bringing it up throughout the day?
They took photos.
Oh, okay.
I, like, still have those photos.
Maybe it's in your yearbook.
Probably.
That seems like a yearbook-worthy photo.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't think I own any of my yearbooks anymore.
Oh, yeah?
But, yeah.
I have most of mine, I think.
Damn,
Yearbooks.
I wish I had mine, actually. I don't...
They're fun to go through.
Yeah, see, like, what people said to you. That mine didn't get very many fun messages because I didn't have very many friends. But, you know, It'd be nice to see, like,
Not even band? Like, no band
I
kids?
like never got close to other humans in my life, still to this day.
It is a struggle.
It is really hard. I don't know. I had friends, but I feel like I've always been the type of friend where, like, I don't get like best friends. I don't get like core groups of people. Maybe every once in a while, but it's like very, very fleeting. And I feel like I've always just been friends with many, many, many people and just like have never reached like an inner circle type of thing.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was like that in high school where like I did band and theater and like some other shit too. And so it was kind of tough being a part of just one group. If I do have a group like that, it doesn't last very long.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Which is bummer. It's like
it is really sad. It's like hard to be around other people who are always a part of those friend like core
Yeah.
groups, and I'm like, man,
they're like always talking about them.
yeah,
And I'm just like, that must be fun.
I know. I'm like, what's it like to have friends?
Yeah, right.
Because I don't have them. I don't know. I remember I do have like always like 2 or 3 friends who like end up close to me for a while, but it never lasts. So like in high school, it was my friends from marching band. And then once we graduated high school, we just never talked to each other again. I think
yeah.
I tried to like reach out here and there, but like I really suck at, I can't like casually text people all the time.
Yeah.
Like-
well, and like my stupid ego is just like, well, why don't they text me?
Well, yeah, that
So
too,
it's
that
just
too.
like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to like shut that voice up in my
Yeah.
head to be like, well, people don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of people you need to initiate
Right.
it. And then once they know you want to, then they're like,
Right.
down for it.
And like they're probably thinking like the same exact thing. Like,
Right.
oh, why doesn't that person
Exactly.
text me? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I feel like also social media has made that very easy to just like, you're not seeing them face to face. You're just assuming how their tone is over
Yeah.
text or whatever. And a lot of us get it wrong. I mean, I have.
Yeah, no, I get it wrong. Well, I don't get it wrong, but a lot of people get it wrong with me.
Yeah.
And then I already have the personality of like everyone thinks I hate them. So when the text messages go along with that, it's just like, well,
Right.
I just hate everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess being a millennial now, still to this day, every time I see a period at the end of a thing, I'm like, are they men?
I'm stressed. I'm stressed. Even capital letters freak me out, but I'm that type of person. I have all my lower cases on.
Capital letters, it does do something to me. If somebody is mad at me and they use capital letters, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
They're like, they are yelling at me.
Yeah, if I'm using capital letters in any of our text messages, I'm mad at you.
Oh,
Facts.
well, you're not.
Well, because my
what if,
my
like, you're
caps,
excited
like
or
my
something?
like first letters of the sentences aren't even capitalized. Like I turn that off. I'm one
Oh.
of those people like that people hate. I'm that. But like. So, like, if I'm using that, if I'm capitalizing the first word, I'm angry.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you're using that as like a
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
emphasis.
Yeah. It's
okay.
like I'm being like formal with you, and therefore I do not like you.
Yo. Okay. It's good to know.
I don't know if anyone thinks the same way as me, but that's
That's the
how it
first
is.
time I heard that.
Yeah, I'm fucking weird.
But I mean, I do know people who turned off their automatic caps, so maybe that's why.
I saw a meme the other day, or like I think it was a TikTok. It was someone, and they were like, "So, like, what age do we turn the capital letters back on? Like, at what age is this phase in our life gonna like die out?"
That is a good
And
point. Yeah.
they were like, "Mine's not going to." And I was like, honestly, same. Like, I
Yeah.
can't, even as like a 87-year-old, I don't think it's possible for me. It's like it's like ingrained in me.
Well, if you think about it like that, I can see why it would be tough. Because then, if you do change it, every time you text someone, I don't know, you might be afraid that they think you're yelling at them.
Yeah.
So, psychology,
That was deep.
repetition.
That was really smart.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I took one psychology class.
I majored in it, and you probably still know more than me.
What?
Yeah.
It's really interesting. The human mind is like, you hate it and you love it.
Oh, yeah. I have a weird relationship with the human
Oh,
mind.
yeah. Same. But consciousness, yeah. It's important.
You don't say.
I mean, it's I just think more of us should really, really think about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's too many dumb people in the world.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's probably really bad to say. That's probably really dumb.
I wouldn't say they're
but
dumb as much as they're just ignorant. They're
Okay, better-
you know,
Better term.
even though it's like it's similar meaning, but it's also they're kind of choosing not to learn. It's
Yeah.
like knowledge is a choice most of the time, I think, and it's very important. So you have to seek it out to get it. And like some people are just, I'm saying myself included. I feel like I could be better at like seeking out knowledge and learning more.
Yeah.
But I just don't.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I feel like there are, like you said, like so many people that just like aren't like aware of anything deeper, and that is like,
Yeah,
it's intriguing to me how people don't want to know even, because
Right.
like I feel like it's so interesting and fascinating, and like
they're set on their beliefs
Yeah.
and nothing else.
like not digging deeper into things
Right.
is weird.
I don't know. I mean, we do live in New York, but I do see crazy shit all the time, which makes me question reality constantly. And so, like, so I guess I'm forced to constantly be thinking about what the fuck's going on. Like my conscious, another person's conscious, like, what was that fucking person thinking? Like,
Right.
and like, if you're not around that, I guess it's easy to forget about and just like have one thing,
Yeah, I feel like it's like slightly better in New York than in Michigan in a weird way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michigan has its parts, but a lot of it is still very rural.
Yeah.
You're far away from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I do you like any part of Michigan, or you just like fucking hate?
I just really fucking hate Michigan. The only place that I like
There goes our Michigan listeners.
sorry guys. I'm sure they hate it too, honestly. Like,
well, it's funny. I think you either fucking are like Detroit.
That is
made
what I
in
always tell
Michigan.
people, and people don't like understand. I'm like, you're either a diehard Michigander or
Yeah.
you fucking hate that shit.
Yeah.
And then I say that to people, and they're like, Michigander. And then I'm like, yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, nobody takes that seriously here.
Exactly.
I mean, to preface, we are both from Michigan. I guess I just wanted to put that in the recording.
Yes.
So we kind of know what we're talking about from our experiences.
Yeah. But yeah, there's only one area that I like, and it's Wyandotte. And
Wyandotte,
it's in Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
And it's like really fucking adorable and cute in the best possible way. It's like right on the water.
Oh. Okay.
So they have like a little boardwalk, which is cute. And when you get into like the main area of it, it's like almost like old town, like New York in a way, where it's like everything, all the buildings are connected, which I've always loved. And like you can just walk down one street and you can like experience all of that area.
That's cool.
In a similar way that you can in New York City.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I've always really liked it.
There are, I mean, they're like that. You're making me like want to go there now.
Yeah, it's really
and I
cute
love how
and
we
adorable.
started just shitting on Michigan.
Yeah,
and I'm just
yeah.
like, I want to go.
Yeah, no, but other than that, like pretty much the rest of Michigan, I don't love. I also haven't been to a lot of Michigan, so like,
Yeah. See, we
it's
traveled
tough.
all over.
yeah, no, I didn't have any money, so we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But like I've been to like Mackinac Island. That's cool, I guess.
That's cool.
If you're into
If you
that.
love smelling
If you're-
horse shit.
Yeah, if you're into that, go for it.
Yeah.
I like went to school at Central, and so I hate Mount Pleasant with a burning fucking passion.
I
hate
can
Central
see
Michigan.
that. I didn't spend enough time there to hate it, but I can see
You
that.
would hate it. It smells like cow shit there.
Yeah, and it's like there's like a casino that it's like
Yeah, which is also a terrible casino. Like, it's not
Yeah.
great. I worked there. I can say that.
Oh right, you did.
Well, I worked at the water park, but yeah, like it's all
Still,
connected.
yeah. I feel like I might have gone to the one because my dad and brother perform there sometimes. For,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
New
you
Year's
were
Eve.
telling me about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and so I've been there a few times.
Yeah.
And so, but as a kid, it's great, it's fun.
Yeah.
But like as an adult, I'm like,
No, it's like shitty.
I've been to way better hotels.
Yeah. And then like I just started experiencing like more of like West Michigan with like Grand Rapids and everything. And I don't
That's got a good rep.
I don't hate Grand Rapids. Like I could live there long term, but I wouldn't like my life.
Yeah, I mean, they do get a lot of snow, and
Yeah.
it does seem like really cold in the winter.
Yeah. And
Because you're right off Lake Michigan. So,
right. But
yeah.
I think that's like one of my favorite areas of Michigan, I would say. Because it's like
Yeah.
I always like explain it as like a mini Chicago. I'm probably going to get like attacked for saying that maybe, but like it's the miniest of Chicago's, I would say.
Yeah, that's funny. It's like, it's kind of like a Russian doll where it's just like there's New York and then Chicago's a lot like New York. And then Grand Rapids a lot like.
Yeah. Yeah. I like never left Metro Detroit ever.
Yeah.
Unless I was going to Ohio.
I mean, that's not much better.
I fucking hate Ohio. I hate it.
There is a part of Cleveland that I really like.
I like have barely actually experienced Ohio, but I fucking hate that shit.
I mean, it's been the butt of a lot of jokes lately.
But it's also like part of the blood of coming from Michigan.
Yeah,
you just,
it's
like
Midwest.
have to hate Ohio. It's just like that's what I always tell everyone. My best friend is from Ohio, just to preface, and we became friends because we're both from the Midwest. But also at the end of the day, I'm like, you're from Ohio, dude. Like, how's that feel? And he loves it. Yeah. He adores Ohio. But like, I'm just like, does. Yeah, he really, really like I've been watching sports.
Look at you.
Which is a joke in itself. Especially if you know me at all.
Yeah. Which ones? All of them. Wow. Look at you.
Well, I started going to the bar, and there's a lot of sports there, and then there's like a lot of cute guys too. So I'm like, well, if I'm drinking and looking at sports, maybe they'll be into me.
That's such like a dude thing to do.
Yeah.
To be like, well, if I look confident in this masculine thing.
Listen, I'm one of the dudes, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it is a dive bar.
Yeah, but also I just like find myself like spacing off while I'm sitting there, and like there really is nothing else to do other than watch the sport. Yeah. So I've been watching sports, and in order to hang out with him, sometimes I have to watch the Ohio sport, you know? And then I root for whatever team is against Ohio just to spite him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our relationship.
Okay, that sounds healthy. No, I think I can get into sports. It's just I don't know any names.
Pish posh names, no.
Yeah, I know kind of how it works, but like, you know.
Oh, we're at the same level. He bets on sports, and
I know a lot of people do that.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bet on sports, but I'm going to bet on whichever team is the most aesthetically pleasing.
And it would be so funny if you won.
I know! Because, I mean, there's like a science behind that. Look good, feel good. Perform better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also just like a lot of like stats really go into it.
No.
Well, for other people.
No, but I think I'm gonna test my theory out.
All right. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
Because like some logos are really fucking bad. Like the LA Rams, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, so okay.
Those logos are bad, but also it's like yellow and blue, and it's like a bright neon yellow and a baby blue, and I'm like, I'm
not a fan of yellow in a sport logo, unless it's like yellow and black.
Yeah.
But like yellow and blue, I don't know. It doesn't work for me. Irritating to
exactly,
look at. And
they're irritating to watch. So I'm not gonna bet on them.
Oh, and like their uniforms, like some uniforms are just horrible.
Oh my god, the Lions. So one of their uniforms is like really good, and then the other one is really awful. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Who designed these?
They weren't using their brain.
Yeah.
Or they were trying to please a man. And either way, it's not good.
Trying to get sleep with one of the players.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not great. And anyone who's listening knows exactly which one I'm talking about, too. Because if you know, you know.
See, I don't.
But you will.
It's either blue or white. Because that's their colors.
But they also have gray. And it's the gray ones that are
ugly. A gray one?
I know!
See... Gray, I think, works only in specific things. No. Oh my god.
Yeah. Look at the lion on the fucking helmet, though. Is that a lion? No, it's fucking not.
It's an anorexic lion. It's like not eating.
It's like a geometric lion.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's so awful. And the gray?
The
gray?
Like that, the blue helmet I like, but with that gray, it's so
and with
bad.
that logo.
And with that logo.
Because their other blue ones aren't like that.
If they make the fucking Super Bowl, man, like, they better not use that fucking.
I don't know. I don't even know if they can go to this. They're in the playoffs. They won the first game. See, this is the thing. I know nothing about sports.
Well, see, I don't know how that works. Like, how do you qualify for the Super Bowl?
You have to make the playoffs, and then you like end up in the end. Like you just like go.
Right. I guess first, I was thinking like maybe over the years you have to like do a certain good, like do well,
Do a certain good.
do a certain good, and then qualify for. But I don't know. I feel like if they win the playoffs, they get to go to the Super Bowl. I thought that's how it works, right?
If you make the playoffs, then the playoff people play off, and then whoever wins the playoffs goes to the Super Bowl.
But aren't you already playing against the playoff people in the playoffs?
No. Well, like yeah. So like you're against everyone, and then that like gets brought down,
Yeah.
and then whoever wins. Like whoever's at the end, they make the playoffs.
Right.
It's regional actually. So like at least I think the Lions won like the northern region.
Oh, okay.
I think at least based off of what I saw on Instagram.
Maybe it's all the region. So they got to make the playoffs in the region.
Yeah, and then each region goes against each other, and then whoever wins
sense.
they go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think.
That does make more sense.
Yeah.
Even if you're wrong, I don't care.
It sounds right enough.
It sounds very right.
Thank you. Put in the fucking work.
Yeah.
Man.
We thought about it.
I used my brain to come up with that knowledge, and it sounds sound. Well, it was so nice talking to you.
It was nice talking to you too. Fuck, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed. I feel like out of
How
context.
dare you?
Out of context, I would be like, okay, it's nice talking to me too.
Yeah. It was an honor.
It was an
sitting
honor
here next to you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah.
Truly, when you scoff at me like that.
Yeah, me too.
I get
Savannah.
it. You're a stand-up comedian, and I'm not as worthy.
I really had to squeeze this into my crazy schedule.
Honestly, yeah. I feel great about it, honestly.
No, I
Thank
did too.
you.
I think this first ep was a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
I think, just like the no pressure, I feel like that allows us to go so many places.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know?
excited.
But yeah, this was fun. Let's do it again,
Let's do it again.
and and then we'll see after that.
Yeah, I don't know. Once, maybe, twice, sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Three times?
We have ADHD, so I don't know if we're gonna have the attention span for it, but we'll
I
see.
believe in us. This is
I think we could
our
do
lesson.
it. Yeah, we could do it.
As a self-certified therapist, this is our homework.
Yeah, our homework is to keep podcasting.
to keep podcasting.
Keep podding.
Keep.
I feel like that's a thing. People
Podding?
they say pod. They
When I
shorten
think
it.
of like pods, I think of like pods.
Like
you know,
like a nap pod.
I was gonna say, my initial thought was like the pods that you go in space when they like keep you cold to like live in the future.
Right.
That's where my brain immediately went.
No, it is a very sci-fi
Yeah.
term.
I don't even watch sci-fi movies like that, so why my brain went there? Couldn't tell you.
I mean, I went to Nespresso Pod. Aren't they called pods?
Yeah, they are called pods.
Yeah.
I literally had one this morning, so I don't know why my brain didn't go there.
That's funny. Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with me. So many things. We'll leave that for a different podcast episode.
Let's put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that.
And we'll probably come back to it.
Well, that was a good outro. We are doing a good job.
Yeah, we're doing great at
All
this.
right.
All right.
All right.
I'm stopping now.
Yeah.